OD Log Sports Info here, back with another vid for you guys. Yeah, y'all hit that subscribe, like, bell icon so y'all can be notified of this reel, because y'all know OD Log keeps it real. Yeah, y'all, so I just got wind of this, right? Oscar De La Hoya does an interview with Fight Hype. And you guys should already know that Leonard Ellerbe, he came out and he said, that they trying to fight Ryan Garcia. So Oscar De La Hoya, he comes out and he basically say that Tank Davis got to get his numbers up, right? Okay, he's growing into a star. Now, this is what Oscar De La Hoya said. He said, yeah, like he's growing into a star, but he's not quite there yet. So I'm like, what is he talking about? And then he explains it. He said, yeah, Tank Davis, he only did 50,000, regular pay-per-views, and he did 40,000 in streams. So that's 90K, people. 90,000 people, right? Paid for the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. But Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather, they go around and they act like that this guy is just on another stratosphere, than all the other boxers. Right? They act like that Tank Davis is, he's just so much above the other fighters that they just, like they just peasants. They just beneath him. Right? But that's the second promoter who basically said that the PBC are inflating their numbers. That's the second one. And I already know what the PBC fanboys, what y'all gonna say. Oh, man, like De La Hoya, he's hating. De La Hoya, he's hating. Bob Arum, he basically said it too about the Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter fight. He said, according to my sources, the fight did not do, as good as Mike Coppinger reported. Bob Arum said that the fight did between 150 and 175,000 pay-per-view buys. So that's two different promoters. And I already know what y'all gonna say, fanboys. But that's two different people, right? Two different promoters basically saying that the PBC inflates their pay-per-view numbers. So I always had this, suspicion anyway. That these guys are not selling the pay-per-views that, that's being pumped out, that's being, reported. Because I want you guys to think about this. When Gervonta Tank Davis, when he fought Gamboa, what was his viewership? Gervonta Tank Davis, he got 600,000 people to look at that fight with Gamboa. That's it. 600,000 people to look at the fight with Gamboa, right? And we all know that Gamboa, he should have been out of there in like 2-3 rounds, but Tank Davis let him survive on one leg. Remember that, because he popped his Achilles. Now, Leonard Ellerbe and, Floyd Mayweather, they love to, to talk about these other fighters. But I want y'all to remember, T.O. and Loma, they did 4 million views. 4 mil. Josh Taylor, he did from 1.6 to 1.3 million views. It peaked at 1.6 million views. And the average the average viewership was 1.3 mil. So for Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather to come out and try to act like that Tank Davis is just this, this superstar, it seems to me that he's not even as popular as Josh Taylor, T.O., or Loma. Make it make sense. So if he's this big ass star, he would have got over 1 million views for fighting Gamboa, right? If he's this big ass star. But Ramirez and Josh Taylor, they got 1.6 at his highest peak, right? And an average of 1.3. T.O. and Loma, they got 4 mil. Make it make sense. I know y'all can't, man. Tank Davis is not what they saying he is. He's not.